Recording. Good morning, guys. It's Darren from Jace Media, and today in the chair, all the way from Melbourne, Australia, is vocal powerhouse Miss Callie Jewell. Callie, good morning. How are you?
Hi, Darren. I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Listen, not a problem. I was really looking forward to it. I think the thing about when you get Australians on, it's really cool because you just have such a laugh. There is nothing's out of bounds, and you just get to talk about whatever you want to talk about. And I guess you get the both sides of the coin. We've had crazy lockdown for months and months and months. You guys are kind of just creeping into it now, and it's weird to see it happening to another country. Whereas when you're in Britain, you see it every day, and you don't really focus on other parts of the world. And now all of a sudden, I've got a son that lives in Melbourne, and he says it's mad, crazy, But I think it's just one of these things that I think we'll eventually have to live with.
Yeah.
But anyway, so music career, what's happening? You started a youngster way back many moons ago.
Yeah, I grew up around music. My grandfather had a studio at home, so I was pretty lucky. And, I was always in the studio with him and annoying him, I guess, when he was working and writing songs. And, I just kind of grew up around it, and I've done music my whole life. So, yeah, I don't know what it would be like not to do it. I guess it's kind of like breathing for me. I really started, like playing guitar when I was 5, probably where I sat down and started learning, A's and D's and G's to play, and learning the most important chords to play all the rock songs. And then I started writing, probably like seriously trying to write when I was like maybe 15, 16. And I just never really stopped. It just kept changing and growing. And here I am still doing the same thing, trying to learn guitar chords.
Aren't we all, Callie? Aren't we all? So what was your main musical genre? What got you into music, like to do? Because obviously you've been shifting a little bit from dark electronica to now a bit of rock. What was the shift?
It's just music, really. I'm a bit genreless. I just drift around, I think, because I write from feelings. Like my guitar and music's like kind of always been my diary. So I've never really written for anyone or for any sound. It was always myself. So I guess it just turns out to be whatever it is. I just kind of let them fall into place, obviously. If the song comes from a dark place, it could be quite dark. But I do love dance and electronic music, so I do get a lot of that in there. And I think as a band, like all of us have, so many influences and sounds that we love that we've just put it all into one. And I'd say definitely with Dancing with the Devil, it's kind of just really highlighted that signature sound that we have, like the 90s grunge kind of rock love from Adrian and Mars and Dave, both Aussie rock, but a lot of like big American rock bands come through. And I'm a big Blondie fan as well, so every time I can stick a 16th note in there on the drums, I'm like, come on, Mars. I love rock music you can dance to as well, so we've just blended it all together. I'm a little bit of a shapeshifter from genre to genre. I love music. Like it's my influence, like the art and the music, and definitely my grandfather, what he taught me is like my biggest inspiration.
I kind of guess that makes you a kind of like a kind of wanted entity, because you can shift from your dance to rock, to blues to whatever, and people think, wow,
like a chameleon.
Maybe no single might ever be the same, because you'll be thinking, oh, this one's got a bit of rock in it, and this one's got a bit of Blondie and a bit of electronic darkness. And I think people quite like that, because it's like a lucky bag of music. When you provide your next single, people go, wonder what we're going to get. And then it comes a rock song, and it comes a bit of electronic, which is probably quite cool.
Yeah, I know. It worked really well as well on the on our Phoenix album. Like, I wasn't sure, it was like our biggest body of work, and I guess it's the most important in my first album. It's like how we're introducing ourselves to the world, really, and it was so detailed. And I had those songs, it probably took about 10 years not to write them, because the songs are like, I normally write a song in 20 minutes. It can be anywhere between that. But I guess it was a journey of like 10 years of what happened in my life. And when I first had moved to Melbourne and all of the past and losing my grandmother, and a lot of my music comes from pain, you know, and now recently losing my grandfather, you know, I feel like even now I feel like I need to go learn how to play piano, because I feel like there's so much broken, and I just don't think that even a guitar would be the right sound to express that feeling. I feel like I need to go play piano so they can be that emotion.
Wow.
Because I don't think I can capture a broken heart with a rock band. I definitely think, but you know, just to put that whole album, like, you know, in a story, like to introduce who I was, you know, and it wasn't a full rock album. There was rock on there, but there was, you know, some acoustic stuff, and there was some like ballads, and then a big rock ballad. And, you know, it was just like, it was loved by everyone, because there was, if you didn't like the first track that came in very heavy, touching like really heavy melodic rock, you know, there was like some nice stuff from the middle section all the way out. So you don't have to like the first part, but there was something there for everyone. And I didn't even realize like how much that would be appreciated, because I'm thinking, you know, some people won't like this, but they were like, no, we loved like the second song and the last one, you know. So it was I think having that openness to all genres was like, it grows a bigger audience, you know, you can really connect with a bigger amount of people.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think like I'm so lucky to have that. And you know, when I came to Melbourne, a lot of people were like, and other musicians were like, you know, just stick to rock, just, you know, do this, or it's very different. And I think maybe it's because they were like, are they too scared to reach that genre? Like they don't know how to do it, where I'm like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go for it. Even though I'm a rock band, I'm going to go and do an electronic song, because that's what I like. It's not about anybody else. This is my story.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, you know, I love music and I go everywhere. But if I had have just, you know, been that person that said, okay, I'll just stick to rock, then I definitely love rock. You know, that's my home, fronting a rock band and writing these rock songs. But I would have limited myself with what I could do if I just stuck to that.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know, I guess that when you do, you know, I do probably 30, 40 bits of reviewing every week. And I get melodic rock, I get death metal, I get country, I get folk, I get blues. You know, so 1 minute you could be listening to some crazy dude in Germany screaming his face off with death metal.
That is so cool.
You know, and then someone comes in and goes, here's a bit of country, a bit of blues. You're like, wow, I really like that. You know, that's quite good. And then you get an album where, you know, I would never say to someone, you had 10 tracks, I liked 6, I didn't like 4. You know, because the thing is that you have put your heart and soul into this album. You've made 10 tracks, and someone goes, yeah, some of it was all right, some of it wasn't, because that's demoralizing for the artist. But what I do is I review the full album first. I do a playthrough, and then I grab myself a glass of wine, and I start to write. And then you know, and then you get, you know, because you're playing an album for the first time, you don't know what's coming, so you kind of think, oh, you know, like, you know, Death Be to You, you think, well, that's probably quite dark. And then you go, and I was sitting by the river, you go, well, that's probably like a wee ballad or whatever. And I think with an album, when you get that, you get 4 or 5 heavy metal rap, you know, right in your face songs, and in the middle you get a wee ballad, a wee rock ballad. I think that makes an album, because people know that you have a softer side, rather than just rattling out 10 tracks of pure heavy metal. So I guess you're right. You know, you're really right with that, because I think people will be surprised by the diversity that you've got.
Yeah, it's like a lucky dip.
Yeah, you know.
You don't know what you're getting. But, you know, and I think I definitely decided after the first album, because I plan on doing many, many albums, you know, that having an acoustic song on there was really good. I even like doing acoustic shows, you know, every now and then. I think it just takes away all of the, you know, everything, and it just strips it back, and it's like a really good way to get to know people. You know, it's like a really intimate show, like acoustic, and doing that also on the album kind of just like strips back all the rock and roll and all this kind of stuff, and just, you know, it's an opening. This is really who I am. So I think that was nice to have that in there as well.
I mean, I think, you know, when you do an acoustic track or an acoustic show, there's 2 sides to that. That gets people to know the musicians, and it gets people to know if you can actually sing. So when you're doing an acoustic show and you're hitting the notes, people go, "Wow, it's just like listening to the album." And I guess that I like to do an acoustic show because it's like you're sitting in your lounge when you've got a couple of the boys around with the guitars and maybe a kick drum, and you're just moseying on through, the 10 tracks on the album or the 6 tracks what you've got, and people go, "Wow, that sounds amazing." And I think that that's a really good way to reach an audience as well, because they know that you're not just a screamer, but you have a softer side, which is so cool as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what's the plans for Cali Jewell and band? What's the big dream? What are we aiming for?
Oh, we're just gonna keep doing what we love. Like, that's the dream, just rocking and rolling, and just I don't know, going on crazy adventures like I do. I often, wake up one morning and think we're gonna do this and this is what we're gonna do. So I mean, I did it just before COVID started. Adrian and I were at rehearsal and he said, "Oh, you know what?" He's like, "I think maybe your sound would kind of work in Japan." And I kind of thought about it and I thought, you know what, I'm going to Japan. Like, let's do it. So, I jumped on the phone and I spoke to my manager in LA, Mark Dalbeth, and I rang Chris from Heavy Music here in Australia because I know that he had toured with a band. He'd taken a band over there for our first run of tour in Japan. So he was having that, happening, and had done it a couple of times with some bands. I was like, all right, so he knows what to do. He's got the venue. So I spent like 24 hours on the phone and, getting everything we needed. And we booked like 9 shows in 11 days. And then the next day, after 24 hours is up, I messaged the guys. I said, "Guys, we're going to Japan. I've got a tour booked and, we'll take Chris with us." And then I was like, I said, "Shit, none of us speak Japanese." I was like, we need someone to come with us. We organized that. And they were like, "No way, Carl." I said, "Yeah, well, it's already organized. Like, I've paid deposits. We've got the venues. We're going." That's me. I wake up, or sometimes I just think, I want to do this, and I really let nothing stop me, and I don't wait for anyone, because I mean, it's my story. It's my adventure. Like, this is our music family we've created, and why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How do the boys feel? How are the boys with the band? Are they ready for the rock and roll journey? Do they take your lead, or do they just go, "Hold on a minute, Carly"? Because do the guys, are you all full-time musicians, or do you have day jobs?
Yeah, we all work. We all work. Yeah. We're all just 9 to 5ers during the day, rock stars at night. Living the dream. But yeah, no, they love it. And, we go to LA as much as we can. And, we had a tour booked over there as well. And our Japan tour got postponed until we just pulled the plug on everything and said, "Look, we'll just rebook it when we know we can rebook."
Yeah, absolutely.
So then we got the show in November to support Rose Tattoo at the Whiskey Go Go. It was like their 25th anniversary, for playing there. It's going to be a huge tour. And then that obviously got canned and postponed, and we just got that show back. So now we're set to go to LA in March, and the other bands we tour with are also, they're going to meet us, and we'll do our little run of shows that we normally do with Gravity Lane and Hell on Wheels. And we've got a band actually that we met over in Texas called Amber Eye. They're like very punk, like she's a badass. Yeah. And, we always say we want to do some shows. So I said, "Look, I'm coming in March," and they're coming from Texas, so they're going to organize some shows. So it's going to be
excellent. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's what we do. We just, when we see something, or, I think it's really, a lot of people probably think like you need, labels or this or that. Honestly, it's just like how you do it here in your hometown. You ring these venues, you shoot them an email, whatever. And then I was like, this is how you do it all over the world. You just do it. You just do it and go.
Absolutely. I think time waits for no man. I think if you've got a dream now, you just touched on it there. You and the guys, you all have day jobs, 9 to 5ers. So, to a lot of people, that's like the dream. I work through the day and I rock out at night. Do you know what I mean?
Only problem for someone that does, I do music full time, and I co-write for other artists as well. So I am a full-time musician, but I also work. But for me, I work on the weekends. So the Boys Club, actually a punk rock band from Sydney, and they were coming to play in Bendigo, and that's a couple of hours out of Melbourne. And I was speaking to Scarlett, the drummer, and I said, yeah, let's do this show together because they were on tour. So we all finished work that night. We drove to Bendigo, played the show, drove back, and then I went to work for 12 hours the next morning. And, everyone I worked with were like, I don't know how you do it, Carly. Like 1 minute you're here, then I see you on Instagram, like, on a stage, and it's 6 a.m. and you're here with no sleep. I was like, well, you got to do what you got to do. Like, and I do that again because it's rock and roll. Like that night was just so amazing to be able to do that show with those girls. Yeah, I would do it again.
I think the thing is, you keep the dream alive. You don't go, I need some sleep. If someone says, let's go and play this, you go and do it, because I think it's one of those things. It could be your break. Someone could see you in the crowd. It could be someone, or someone could be listening and phoning and say, I'm going to phone this guy because this band are awesome. You go, well, I don't want to play tonight. I'm really tired. And people go, what you doing, So I guess from that point of view, it is a dream, to work all day, know that you're going, finishing at 5 and going, I'm punching out and I'm going to the studio, or we're getting in the van and we're going to Bendigo and we're going to rock out, and then you're going to get back at 2 and 3 in the morning, but you don't really care. Have 4 hours sleep at work, and I think that's fantastic. And I think it's a real good way to look at it.
Yeah, and I mean, because I do work weekends. My boss is great. He lets me finish work, but I work at one of a huge shopping centre here, and because it's so far away from my house, I can't always come home. So I make coffee, yeah. So because I quit my other job just to do something that didn't have all the responsibilities of like being called in after work, because I was like, I can't stop rehearsals. And I used to say to my old boss, you think I'm going to be touring with like someone like Rose Tattoo and have to come back to work or answer my phone to you? I was like, no. I was like, I have to quit. I need to do something else with no responsibility. Just something I love, but something that works for me.
Yeah.
Because I want to, I know that I want to do music. That's what I was born to do, So, I'll go to work. Basically, I literally will get changed at work, go to the gig, and just be there right on time to jump on stage.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's fantastic.
That happens a lot. Sometimes I was like, guys, I'm just going to have to wear my work uniform on stage. I don't even have time to get changed.
Yeah. And people go, my God, that girl just came straight from work. You're like, yeah. And here I am, which is what you want.
Yeah, I reckon it'll happen one day.
So what's happening with Bendigo? Is he closing? What's happening? I saw
the Bendigo Hotel. I'm not sure. I just seen that, so I don't know the full story of what's happening. I've had it, well, actually, it feels like forever, but only yesterday and today I really wasn't on any social media. I was like just gardening actually and hanging out with Fluff, my cat, and so I seen a little bit and I was like, I'm not sure what's going on, but a lot of the venues here in Melbourne have really struggled, so I'd say it's got something to do with that. But I seen straight away people are jumping on to support. But, all the musicians really come together and the people in Melbourne come together, and, we're lucky we've got a really good community here and they do jump on to help. So, I mean, hopefully whatever's happening, like just the power of the people and, these guys helping out, we can save this venue.
Sort it out. So how do you get on with the Shotgun Mistress boys?
Those guys are friggin' rock stars. So I actually did a show with those guys at Central Club and Stone Trip. I don't know when it was, like when we first opened up. I think I did like 3 shows in a row in a weekend, and it's my first time playing, and like they came. I was excited to see them. I'd just seen them everywhere, all over the place, and I was waiting for them to come out stage. They just come out, and my mind was just blown. I love these. I was like, these guys are like Rose Tattoo to me. Like they were just unstoppable. It was just straight up rock and roll. Like they've got it. Like this Australian rock, but you could hear that sound being very well accepted in like LA, like in America. They've got that sound as well. And I was just like, whoa, I love it. I can't even believe I get to play with these guys, tonight. And I just met them and I was like, I'm your biggest fan now. Like, I'll be at
Yeah.
every show, and then
good bunch of lads. Good bunch of lads.
oh, amazing! And then we actually got to do another show together with Eat the Damn Orange for their album launch, and that was one hell of a night, and it was a blast. Yeah, they're really nice guys, and yeah, rock stars they are.
Yeah, my son was supposed to go to the album launch, but something happened, and obviously because he's over in Melbourne, you know, I've said to him, "You'll go to the show and you can do a bit of reviewing for me," and he's like,
yeah,
he's into his grime stuff and all that, and he's a mad DJ mixer and things like this, and skateboard and all this palaver. And,
wow, yeah.
You know, and the two lads that he lives with, you know, they said, "Do you want to come to this gig?" My dad's getting us on the guest list, and they said, "Who are they?" So Shotgun Mistress, and they're like, "Okay, we'll check them out." And they're like, "Wow, these guys are amazing! Can't wait to go to the show. Can't wait to can we talk to them?" And I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry, I'll organise all that." But it's a shame that, you know, every time shows come, they get closed down, you know, and it's just a shame that, you know.
Oh, yeah. They had they've actually got a huge run of shows with Electric Mary. They're going on tour with them, and, you know, that was all postponed. So, I mean, it'll happen, but that was, you know, that's such a shame. Like, they had some really big shows happening.
Yeah. Well, Glenn had sent me a couple of tracks from you and from Electric Mary, and those are the only two that I've actually reviewed at the moment. So this video will be rendered today. It will probably go live tomorrow or Tuesday, and it goes all over the world. It goes to Australia, it goes to America, it goes to Europe. So everybody will get to see a slice of Carly Jewell, what she's all about, you know, and a lot of these people pick up on the interviews, what she's all about, you know. So hopefully this will gather a lot of attention for you in the band, you know, and and the same with the Shotgun Mistress and stuff, you know. I've said to them, you know, I've reviewed everything they've done. You know, we did a big splash for the album launch and what have you, you know, and the same with Lisa and stuff like that, you know. So I kind of like to champion, you know, you guys out there, because, you know, my first love of Australian rock music came in 1979, Carly. There you go. How far back is that?
Wow.
1979. I'm an old man when I went to see AC/DC in Glasgow, and that was my love affair. And then my next big export, I had a chat with probably one of the best bass players in the world about 2 months ago, Mr. Gary Beers.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, cool.
Man's
very
a
cool.
legend.
He's in LA at the moment.
Yeah, I used to look after them when they came. I used to be a bodyguard, and I used to look after an excess when they came to Glasgow and stuff. And I said to him, you know, and I said, it's a fanboy moment for me, Gary. You know, I've, you know, known you for all these years. And he said, wow, man, that's great, fantastic. You know, I'm living in California, but we're moving to the ocean, you know, because he said, what I want to do.
Yeah, because he's doing the Ash and Moon, isn't he, with the Toddy Band?
They're incredible. They're an incredible band. Yeah. And he said, what I want to do, I wanted my kids to grow up where I grew up near the ocean, because where we are, we're kind of in the city. He says, so I want to get back to that life, you know, and it's really cool that wants his kids to kind of have the same childhood he had, you know, and have a nice upbringing kind of to what he had. And he said, you know, I just love the music industry, you know, and like you, I'll rattle off a lot of names. He's like, yeah, I know them, I've heard of them, I've known, oh yeah, you know, and it's really cool that someone like Gary Beers, you know, who's still in the music industry and he's created this new band, and they are just incredible. Ash and Moon are just off the chart. They really are. But, you know, let's hope the same can be done for Carly Jewell.
Let's hope so.
Let's get it out there. So, what are you hoping to tour this year, hopefully?
Well, I mean, if we can get out in March, like that's when our show's booked with Rose Tattoo. And we also found out that Butterside are playing there as well. So it's not only I'm playing with Rose Tattoo, it's Butterside. So that was crazy. I didn't even know. My manager sent me a video of the tickets and it had Rose Tattoo and then it was Butterside. And I was like, excuse me, does that say Butterside? Like, am I actually guys as well. Like, whoa, my mind was blown. So, yeah, I literally found that out yesterday. I was like so excited. I didn't even sleep last night. I was up till like 2 a.m. having a movie marathon because I'm just too excited to even sleep. Just want to go and rock and roll.
Listen, that's what it's all about, rock and roll lifestyle, and doing stuff like that. And stuff dreams are made of, going to LA and supporting Rose Tattoo. That's just incredible.
And so yeah, when we go over there, we're gonna just put a whole ton of shows together and just go as far and as wide and as many shows as we can. I don't care if we do shows every day the whole time we're there. That's better for us. Don't want to stop.
Well, Jace Media will be there to support you. We will do as much coverage as we can for you, and we'll do everything we can.
We want to go, like, you would know Pete K. Marley. Yeah, we want to come to the UK. We always talk to Pete and about jumping on some of those.
Got married yesterday.
Yeah, I seen that.
Got married yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a great guy as well. So yeah, we definitely want to head to the UK and go as just everywhere we can once everything's open, and just as many shows.
Let us know what happens when it does, and you can come and start your world tour in Glasgow. Don't go anywhere else. Just fly to Glasgow, come to the Glasgow, do the world tour opener, and then go in New York or wherever you want to go, but come to Glasgow first. Because I've told the boys that as well. Shotgun Mistress, come to Glasgow, start your world tour, and then piss off whatever else you want to do.
That's where we're coming. I think that sounds like a plan.
Absolutely. Listen, Carly, it's been fantastic to chat to you. It's been a quick 40 minutes. I could probably sit and talk to you all day because we've got so many stories and stuff, but it's been fantastic to chat to you. Best of luck with the single. Let's know what else is coming out, and keep in touch with us. Let us know what's coming out, and we will share it with the world for you. And
so the single "Dancing with the Devil," that's also on the vinyl. That's a 7-inch. It's like a limited thing. We do have some copies left through Rigmore Records, so if anyone did want to buy one of those, and the remix will officially be out on all the streaming platforms this Friday. So that's a bit of a surprise as well. We just decided to drop, and it was basically a last-minute decision made about 10 minutes before we did this interview.
Brilliant.
I was talking to Nada, and I said, you know what, man, just drop it. Let's put it out. So, we'll be sending that out now to all the DJs in the world. So if you do like electronic music and you spin electronic stuff, hit us up, get a copy of the track.
Yeah, listen, we do. I mean, we do everything, Callie. So, send it to my inbox, and obviously we'll put it out there and we'll see how we go.
Awesome.
Brilliant. This is Darren from Jace Media in conversation with the fantastic vocal powerhouse, Callie Jewell, all the way from Melbourne. Saying thank you so much for your time, Callie. Take care, and let's hope we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Take it easy.
You too.